Hi, good morning. All right, we all know about income streams. We all know that people say we need to have income streams and that the average millionaire has six streams of income or what have you. But I think we talk about income wrong. I think we talk about income streams incorrectly. Um, and so I want to talk today about the rivers instead. How we should think, how I think it's better to think about money in terms of income rivers instead of income streams. Whether you're talking about money to move abroad, money to just live the rest of your life without having to work, money to retire early, money to retire right on time, like on time as in when people say you should start trying to retire. I'd like to talk about income rivers, and I'm going to give some examples of my own to talk money today. Okay, let's talk money. Hi, I'm Stephanie Perry. I am a house sitter, creator of House Sitter School, and co creator of ExodUS Summit. And on this YouTube channel, if you're watching me on YouTube, on this YouTube channel, we help Black women take career breaks and sabbaticals. We help Black women move abroad. We help Black women bop around the world while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. And hey, friends. Hi, everybody. How's everyone? Good morning, Suzanne Scott. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Dominique. Good morning, TC. Good morning, Nora's Niche. Hey, Michelle. And Michelle. Hey, Charlesetta. Good morning. How's everyone? Let me go ahead and hit the live on Instagram too. Okay, we're also live on Instagram right now for a little while. If you're watching this on Instagram, pop on over to YouTube, please, to my YouTube channel, which is Stephanie Perry. Yeah, so I'd like to talk about income, and I like to talk about income in terms of income rivers instead of income streams. I am the co-creator, co-founder of ExodUS Summit. And so there are women in our community who are specifically trying to make enough money to live their lives abroad, right? Women who are specifically trying to make enough money to leave the country and live somewhere else. And so what I see a lot of times is women doing a piece of this and a piece of that, a little bit of this and a little bit of that to get the money to live abroad. Because, you can live abroad on a lot of times what you're spending on your housing payment in the United States, right? That can be your whole month's money, your whole month's expenses in another country, in Mexico, in Panama, in sometimes even in Portugal, in maybe even Barbados, right? You might be able to live your whole life on what you're just paying for your housing payment today. We see that time and time and time and time again. And lately, we also learned you might be able to live a whole life on just what you spend on daycare. Because, girl, y'all are putting out money towards daycare for the baby. Okay. Um, and so we see women in this community just making sure that they can get to that number without by doing their thing aside from their traditional job often, so that they can live their lives in a new country. Love it. It happens. It works. But I think the difference between women who make it happen and women who are always planning to and hoping to and needing the money. I think one of the differences is the idea of income rivers instead of income streams. So let's talk about income rivers. Years ago, I worked for Barclays Bank. Barclays was one of the top credit card issuers in the world, in the United States. And I worked for Barclays and I was a credit analyst. I worked in the credit department and I spoke. I think maybe it wasn't the best idea to wear this sweatshirt. I wore this last night and it was right here by the bed. So I was on this chair. So I just put it back on. We'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens. I worked for Barclays Bank. I was a credit analyst, and I spoke to customers all the time about their income and their outgo, their expenses. Barclays issued affinity cards, National Nurses Association, Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, American Dental Association. I think the NEA. The NEA may have been when I worked for MBNA. I think the teachers. I talked to a lot of people about their income sources, their income streams or income rivers. And What I learned is that the people who had a better handle on money, the people who were making better money, had multiple streams, multiple sources, multiple rivers, multiple oceans of income, but it all came from the same original base, right? So that's why I like rivers, because streams flow off of rivers, I think. I think rivers are the source and streams flow off of the rivers. So like your dentist is likely a millionaire. Your dentist is likely a millionaire. And your dentist is probably a millionaire because they make money from their dental patients, right? They probably sell products, dental products in the dental office. They probably don't sell art in the dental office, but they probably sell things inside of the dental office. They upgrade you to other services, but that's the first stream. Your dentist probably also makes money by sitting on some boards around the town. Dentists are well respected, and they might sit on some boards and have some paid board positions. Your dentist might also teach at the dental school. Your dentist has income streams that flow from one river, right? Your dentist income flows from one river. They might do something else too. They might play in a local band, but that money is probably not the money that gives them the income to live out their dreams, right? That income, that dream income, comes from that river of being a dentist. Not, I'm going to sell Mary Kay. I'm a dentist and I need more money, so I'm going to sell Mary Kay. But I'm a dentist and I need more money, so I'm going to learn how to sell these specific dental related products in my office. I'm a dentist and I need more money, so I'm going to get on some boards. I'm a dentist and I need more money, and so I'm going to teach, add on some teaching, right? They're going to do things that are related to what they're the best at and what they're already known for. When you're always starting over, you're always starting over. When you start a brand new thing, you have to get a reputation inside of that brand new thing instead of just finding income in the thing that you already know and the thing that you're already known for and the thing that you're already good at and the thing that you already like and the thing where you already have clients or people who would be interested. And so if you came to ExodUS Summit 2025, you learned about many, many different ways to make your move abroad money. Find the thing that best fits you where you are today, based on what you already know how to do, based on the people you already have community with and access with, based on the skill set you already have. I just watched, this is my second time mentioning him in 2 weeks. I just watched Hank Green, a video where he was talking about, like, do the thing that fits your tool set, your toolkit, right? Instead of always trying to do the thing that's like ramming your head up against the wall. If you're watching this on Instagram, I'm going to close out the Instagram live. Okay, come on over to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Stephanie Perry. There's probably a link in the profile. I'm not sure. But come on over and let's talk about your income streams, okay? Let's talk about your income rivers. Let's talk about the things that you know how to do where there's more money there than there is going off and doing something separate, okay? And then I do also want to talk about those of you who need to start from zero, right? Hypothetical zero, because nobody starts from zero. But let's talk about those of you who do need to start from zero. We can also talk about some income there. Okay, we can talk about like the teaching English online income and that kind of thing. But the gig work, right? The online gig work. But there is income stream, there are income rivers based on what you already know. If you get if you come up with the ideas, or if somebody else comes up with the ideas, okay? I'm gonna close out the Instagram. Hi, friends on Instagram. Hey, everybody. YouTube is acting goofy. Veronica says YouTube is acting goofy. Come back to YouTube. Try it again, because then you can chat with everyone easier and I can see you over there, and I don't have to look at two things. Looking at two things is hard. Okay. Y'all on Instagram, I'll see y'all. Okay, the number on Instagram is going down. Okay, see y'all later over on YouTube, or not later, now. Okay. I'm not the kind of person who should be trying to focus on multiple things. I am not a multiple things focuser. Okay. So what does my income look like? It's the end of the year, and what I need to do today is look at my money, and I need to file for some reimbursements in the Exodus Summit business, right? We have our accounts and our payroll thing and our whatever. And I spent some money that I need to the business to reimburse me for. I've got stuff on me. I thought I was clean. No, it's just hair. And so I need to sit down and look at my money today. What I do know is when I was a credit analyst with Barclays, I made about $60,000 a year. When I was a pharmacy technician at Christiana Hospital, I made about $46,000 a year base without my extra. I worked a lot of overtime in Christiana. But I have replaced that. I hope I don't lose y'all. I got to push a button. Okay. I replaced my 40 to 60K income with my rivers, my income streams, all related to being a house sitter, right? Since 2021, since 2020 or 2021, I've made at least 40 or 60K online, right? We're talking like literally last year was probably 5 times that, 5 times 60. 5 times 60 is about 300. Yeah, right? Not 300K that I received, not 300K that I get to keep. You got to pay taxes. You have to pay contractors. You have to pay for your tools and your resources. I didn't keep 300K, but I did make 5 times what I used to make as a pharmacy technician or as a credit analyst from the river of being a house sitter. And that sounds wrong because I don't get paid to house sit. It sounds impossible to create streams of income from the river of being a house sitter, even though you don't get paid to house sit. But I do it. So what do mine look like? I hope that this can give you some ideas. Sometimes when I talk money, people get really upset. That's a you problem. You have to heal that. Okay, you got to heal that. Money is just money. Money does not at all indicate my value as a person, my deservingness, your deservingness. I'm no more better a person making 300K than I was making 46K. Okay. Money is just money. And it's not even a real thing. Like the money comes into the account and then the money goes out of the account. You never hold the money. It's not real money. It's placeholders in a bank account. Okay. It's not real. I don't see that money. Okay. I don't see that money. Okay. Let me drink some coffee. I know usually I don't drink coffee on camera because I savor it too much, but I didn't have a chance to finish my coffee before we got started. I got vanilla and cinnamon and heavy, half and half, half and half. That's a good cup of coffee. It's cold here in Delaware, which is why I thought I'd be okay wearing a sweatshirt on camera. So what do my income, thank you, to love more, thank you. So what does my income river look like if my streams come from being a house sitter and my house sits are unpaid because I book them with trusted house sitters and I just get free accommodation and not pay? First, I created House Sitter School to teach you, friends, how to become a house sitter. House Sitter School is a digital product. It's a download. It's some videos that you watch. If you're in the Exodus ASAP membership, you have House Sitter School, right? I created House Sitter School as a digital product. That is one of my income sources, right? I talk to you about house sitting here on YouTube and y'all be like, help me, help me. You don't need my help to start house sitting, right? All you need to know is that trusted house sitters exist, but there are people who want some extra support. They want some help. House Sitter School, right? My digital product, one river of income. Trusted House Sitters is like, oh, thank you for introducing people to house sitting. We would like to give you a commission on their first year's membership. That's called affiliate marketing, affiliate income. I'm going to tell you to go to Trusted House Sitters anyway, because that's where I get my house sits from. I'm going to talk about Trusted House Sitters as long as I'm talking about house sitting. Might as well get a commission. Might as well get a kickback, right? Might as well get a cut. So affiliate income is a stream of income that flows off of the river. YouTube. I talk about house sitting here on this YouTube channel, and I talk about career breaks and moving abroad, embracing ease, doing as little as possible. I talk about those things on this YouTube channel. YouTube is like, we're going to run ads on your videos, and we'll give you a cut of those ads, right? Ad revenue sharing is what we call the YouTube partner program or YouTube monetization. My YouTube channel's been monetized since 2020. I started it in 2019. It's been monetized since 2020. I've made money from YouTube on my channel since 2020. I'm trying to do these kind of like in order. So that's a third river, that third income source for me. Next, I guess, is ExodUS Summit, right? So Rashida and I had YouTube channels. We were making videos. And then one day we interviewed together Keena Williams from, she was our friend from the Nomadness Travel Tribe. Keena Williams said, y'all need to start an online conference, or y'all need to host a conference. She didn't say online. She said, y'all need to host a conference, call it ExodUS. And we were like, no. But then later we were like, yes, ExodUS Summit is a source of income for us because we host a conference every year. The very first year, I talked about house sitting, right? And the third year, and the fifth year, or the sixth year. Every other year, my session is on house sitting. I guess fifth and sixth. Sixth year, the house sitting session was a pre-recorded session, right? House sitting is a way to take a sabbatical, which the first summit was focused on, or to save money or make more money, which is what the third and sixth summits were on, right? House sitting is directly me being a house sitter. Sharing that on YouTube is directly related to ExodUS Summit existing. ExodUS Summit wouldn't exist if I didn't start a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel wouldn't exist if I didn't do house sitting. ExodUS Summit income is directly related to me being a house sitter and ExodUS ASAP. We'll put all of ExodUS together, right? The ExodUS world. We just talked to our accountant a couple days ago. Hey, Pam. That income that I get to keep, the income that's my share, not Uncle Sam's share, that is because I'm a house sitter, right? That income would not exist if it wasn't for house sitting. Okay, so I didn't do this in order. I should have put YouTube later, okay? YouTube channel, income. Now, number 5, I also coach people on their YouTube channels. I do YouTube coaching because I talked house sitting on YouTube and got monetized, and because I sell products because I have a YouTube channel. I teach other people how to create a YouTube channel that sells your product or your service and or community. I coach other people on how to do that. So we're talking 5 income sources so far because I'm Stephanie, the house sitter. Okay, so I coach people on YouTube. I have a monthly coaching program. I have an intensive program called Breakthrough House, where you just come and we get together over the weekend. We do everything that we would take a year or 2 of coaching. We do it in a weekend, right? Those are income sources that I have. I also have merch. Depending on where you're watching this video from, you may see some t-shirts, some stickers, some mugs, some sweatshirts in the below me on the screen. I also sell merch. So we've got 6 income sources because I know how to house sit. And I said, now, where is the money there? How do I make money doing and teaching the thing that I know how to do and teach? Instead of, I've done other things at other times. Before this income river started flowing, I was a virtual assistant. I did teach English as a foreign language tutor. I was a tutor, not a teacher. I didn't have my TEFL certification. I did some tutoring on Cambly, right? But the better money, the money that is 5 and 6 times what I used to make with a 40-hour work week, that money comes from what do I know and how do I help other people know that thing? It also comes from this thing is worth money, so I'm going to put a price tag on it. Because everything I named, I could do for free, except for the merch, except for the t-shirts and sweatshirts. I could put it out in the world and not put a price tag on it. But it's worth money. I'm going to make a whole video. I have a second YouTube channel called, what is it called? Stephanie Perry Media. Don't be mad at me. I've been accused of treating my second YouTube channel as a step channel, and I think I just proved my point, proved their point. I have a second YouTube channel called Stephanie Perry Media, and I just outlined a video that I'm going to record for that channel very soon. And it's to talk, and the video is don't let white people's money mess drag your business down. I was in coaching all week with a coach who I like. So this is not me bashing him, even though he's a white man. I was in coaching all week with a coach who I like, who was really helpful to me. But the white people in that coaching program, they got money issues, okay? Their money issues stem from them knowing that they inherently, genetically are thieves. And so they're always like, oh, I can't charge for this thing, right? That's their problem. That's a white people problem. I can't charge for this thing. That stems from white people guilt. Don't take that on as your way. That is not a Black person's way of doing things. Black people are like, here's what it's worth. Here's the price. I think that is very Black of me to be like, this is what this thing is worth. This is what you'll pay for it. And I don't feel any kind of way about it because my worth or my value is not tied to money I have or don't have, money I make or don't make. Your worth or your value is not tied to money you have or don't have, money you make or don't make, money you spend or don't spend. These are very separate things. The price is just the price. The price is nothing else other than the price. The price is not an indication of who I am as a person. The price is just the price. White people have real issues about this. I think it's because they know they're thieves and liars. And I think it's because there's inside that it's more than just, I'm afraid to put a price tag on my offer, right? It's more than that. We came here and we stole this whole land and we enslaved people to build the land. And we got so rich. This whole country got so rich off of stolen land and stolen labor. And that's where their money problems come from. That's where their money issues, their money guilt comes from. I got no guilt there. Blameless. My DNA is clean, right? I'm not carrying that with me. And so I can put a price tag on this. I can say, you come to my business breakthrough house, you spend a weekend with me in Bogota, Colombia. We're going to do a year's worth of business work together in a weekend. And you're going to make money. And I'm going to charge you good money for that because you're going to make good money on the end. It's a thing that does not feel good, okay, is somebody crediting you for their amazing transformation while you're broke, right? When people credit you for, oh my God, you changed my life. You saved my life. You brought all this money into my world. Meanwhile, you didn't get paid for it. You trying to make ends meet. That doesn't feel good. Let white people deal with that. Let white people deal with that. I'm going to make a whole video on my other channel. But that's what is happening. They do. White people are very funny about money. And it's because they are thieves. Because they got, there's conflict there. So the coach that I went to is a Christian. I don't know how he would describe himself. I mean, he would describe himself as a Christian, definitely. But I don't know if he would describe his coaching as like faith-informed coaching, but I guess so, because he did read the Bible during coaching, okay? He read the story of Moses, was it Moses, who was like, but I can't do it, but I'm too old, but I don't know, but they don't know me, but whatever, right? He did read the Bible to us in coaching. And And so that was the group. It was a bunch of Christian or Christian adjacent people, Christianity adjacent people. And they do feel really guilty about money. Oh my gosh. Especially people who are in the world of faith. Some of them are former pastors who are now doing some sort of coaching, right? Or pastors or preachers who are now doing, and they're used to doing it for free or relatively for free. Oh, I can't charge people for this, whatever. One relationship coach and one whatever. I can't charge people that, because the like, we're here to learn how to make money in a coaching business. And at least half of the questions were about guilt, about charging money. They feel guilty. They still do it. They still do it. They still put a price tag on it, but they got to work through a lot of guilt, right? So he talked to us about Moses being like, but, right? Moses was hearing from the God, right? Moses was hearing from his main dude, and still all he had was a bunch of excuses. That's where I've been this week, learning about doing things. Don't let the excuses win. Okay. Well, I would like to share with you not to let the excuses win. Excuse me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me mute. Okay. I think I'm together. I would like for, I was going to talk about something totally different. My mom asked me yesterday what my video was going to be about today. It was going to be something totally different. But I just wanted to talk to y'all about money. Okay? Because it's always money. And because I was in that coaching this week, my mind is still mulling over things that I learned this week. And I just wanted to switch it up. Talk about the money. Okay? Shantae, what do you think about using some of the guilt to get ahead for us? I'm a fan of reparations pricing. I just don't know how to do it. I think I'm a fan of, this is the price for Black women and this is the price for everybody else. I don't know how to do it. I'm a fan of reparations pricing. Sometimes when I see someone whose product or service includes serving white people and I look at the price, I'd be like, that's reparations pricing, right? The extra on there, that is the reparations. I'm a fan of it. I don't really have a clientele of white. Especially in my YouTube coaching, I have had white people come to me for one-on-one coaching. You never have to worry about group settings with me having white people. I make it very clear that group coaching with me, Black women only. But I have had white people and men pay me for coaching. I've not charged them extra, but I'm for it. If I knew how to do it, I would do it. If I knew how, I would. Yeah, I think who is really, so the question was, what do I think about taking advantage, like using that guilt for our financial benefit? You know who does this the best? Women on OnlyFans. Black women on OnlyFans are the ones who are making their reparations. They're getting their reparations. They are getting white men's money into their pockets. I'm on it. I'm all for it. The plan says, I used to feel guilty. I used to feel guilt from white friends insisting on paying for my dinners. Turns out it was attempted reparations. Yes, accept the money. I'm so serious about that. Accept the money. Accept it. We are owed. We're owed. Yeah. White people are aware of things. They're aware that a white man at work is aware that you do more than him and he makes more than you. They're aware of it. When they want to hand over some cash, take the cash. They want to hand over some gifts, some tickets. Listen, Shantae, I got tickets to whatever. Do you want it? Yes. Hand it over. They're aware of these things. It's been a while since I've been in white spaces. My coach, so I was in the Hello 7 mastermind. That is a mixed community, but still mostly Black women, I would say, or mostly more Black women than the percentage of Black women in the country, right? Like if Black women make up 7% of the United States, Black women probably made up at least 35, 40, 50% of the Hello 7 mastermind. So it's this coaching program that I was in this week with Graham Cochran is the first time that I've been in a place in a long time with white people. And I was like, I forgot. I forgot. They know. They know the imbalances and the inequalities. They know how they benefit from these things. If they want to give you some money, take the money. Okay? That's the only way that there can be some restitution or reparations. You know that there's a land back movement in the United States where people are leaving their land, their homes to Native Americans, because that's how it's going to happen. 1 to 1. That's how it's going to happen. The United States has done, and in the past, not anytime recently, but in the past, the United States has said, here's a group of people we owe something to, and we're going to give it to them, right? These are some families, some Japanese families who were interned in internment camps during World War II. We owe them some money. We're going to give them some money. But for the most part, it's going to come 1 to 1. When I'm in a house sit and they're like, oh, Stephanie, you don't have another house sit for another week. Do you want to stay in our little Airbnb for that week while? Yes. Yes, I will take the free accommodation every time. I've had probably 4 or 5 different times when the house sit ends, they're back home and I'm still in the house. Maybe in the basement apartment. One lady had an Airbnb, like a bedroom on the front of her house, so I could come and go without anybody knowing it. One group had a upstairs, like an attic type apartment. Yes. Yes. Give me my reparations. Interfaith Queen says it's a matter of pride when it comes to receiving money from some people. I think you're saying your pride about not accepting. If that's not what you mean, say it a different way, please. But if you're talking about your pride and not wanting to accept things from other people, untether money from you. Money is not an indicator. Okay, not me. Okay, some other people. Okay. Money doesn't make you. It's not. Money is not who you are. I know I'm a good person. I feel it in here, but it's not related to money. Oh, she said she saw it with her great aunt. Yeah, money. In some aspects, money ain't got nothing to do with you, right? I mean, in terms of like, it's got nothing to do with who you are, or to feel pride or guilt or shame about money is to say that money is an indicator of your deservingness or your goodness. And it's just not. It's not. I've been, so I think weight is also a way that we can have this conversation, like a way that people can understand what I'm trying to say. I have weighed 260 pounds. I have weighed 160 pounds, right? In neither one of those circumstances was I a more deserving person, a person more or less deserving of being treated with respect and dignity. I have made 46K a year and I have made 300 and something K a year. In neither of those circumstances am I more or less deserving of being treated with respect and dignity, kindness, of being a loving person. They're numbers. They're numbers. They're numbers. I have been a 51-year-old. I have been a 15-year-old. In neither one of those circumstances have I been more or less deserving. They're numbers. So accept the reparations where you get it. Accept it where you get it. V. Wolfert says she is learning somatic healing now to release trauma for myself and my ancestors. We do carry, just like those white people carry their ancestors with them, right? And the actions that those people took and the ways that they benefited from those people's actions, they carry that with them. It's in there, right? So is our stuff is in us too. My closest ancestors, like my grandparents, most of them I met, right? Most of them I knew, and I see them in me, right? Look at a picture, you're like, oh, that's me. That looks like me, right? The way I laugh at everything, right? I know Russell Parrott, that's my grandfather, right? There is, and all of my grandparents were like laughers and life enjoyers. There is some, like, we can do for them, right? Even though they're not here anymore, they're here. Like physically, I look like, you put them all together, that's what you got. I'm what you got when you put all four of those people together, right? We can do some things for them sometimes, even if we can't do it for ourselves. We can heal some things for them, I think. Oh, yeah, I think we can do some things for them. I don't know. I don't know. I, yeah, I think that they're here in us, just like they're in those white people, right? Them white people that were out throwing rocks at school children trying to go to school, right? That's still in them. Just like my grandfather sitting in his little den with the hot stove, the heater on, the stove on, patting his foot, singing, humming a song. That's in me. I don't know why I'm saying that. What was I talking about? That's still in us, like it's still in them. That's why I be guarded. I be real guarded with white people. Okay, American white people, they're not very far away from throwing a rock at you. My dad, my my dad, and my dad had a brother. There was only 1 year age difference, not even a full 12-month age difference, and they lived in the country, grew up in the country, and they would play in the woods. They were real country boys. Go play in the woods. They had a neighbor, a little white boy. He would be playing in the woods with them. That was their friend. When my dad and his brother would walk to school, the white kids would ride by on the school bus and throw rocks at them. And my Uncle Sonny would be like, well, that's John. That's John. Right? Throwing rocks at them while they walk into the colored school. And the white kids are riding in the bus to the white school. We're not far from that. Okay. So treat white people like, I, you need to stay this far away from me. Okay. Arm's length. That's how I treat American white people. Stay at arm's length. But being in coaching with them this week reminded me that their people are just as close in them as my people are in me, right? Them rock throwers, they feel that. Whether they are acknowledging that or not, they feel that difference, that conflict in themselves. So let them give you money is what I'm saying, okay? Let them give you money. Okay, let's talk about your income rivers. So we've talked a lot about some gig work here on this channel. We've talked about ways that you can make enough money to live your life somewhere. You want to go to Thailand and you think you need a budget of $800 a month, $1,000 a month. You can make that by tutoring English online on a platform like Cambly, where you don't even need to find your own students, where the students are just there, right? You can do that. $10 an hour to get $1,000 a month is 100 hours of work in a month, right? 100 hours of work a month, which might be less work than you do now, like less hours, fewer hours than you do now, to live a decent life in Thailand, in Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, right? And so a lot of people go to gig work first. And I have a whole video if you're like, what kind of gig jobs are out there where you can make money, hourly money without without a like developed skill set. If I can find the video quickly, I'll go ahead and link to that video here. I just opened YouTube and Kyoka's video. My friends are jealous of me just popped up. I can't wait to watch it. Kyoka is the awkward Black nomad. I can't wait to watch that video. Hey, Kyoka, if you're here. 9 gig jobs. Paste, and then let me get the link. Share, copy, paste. Okay. So there are gig jobs. There are jobs where you don't necessarily need a skill set, a river of knowledge to make enough money to live a nice life. Okay. However, most of us have some sort of skill set, some sort of river where our income could stream off of, flow to us without us being, and more flow, more river, without us feeling like we're starting from zero. Okay, so what is your house sitting? What is your thing that you can make money from doing? And maybe you do it and you teach it. Maybe you do it and you teach it and you make content about it for paid content like YouTube ad revenue, right? What are your income rivers that you're not tapping into because you're busy chasing one stream after another stream after another stream? That one model of I do it and I teach it and I sell related products like affiliate income, that's pretty normal. That's pretty common. Your dentist does it, right? Your dentist is a dentist and they teach dentistry and they sell products. That's pretty normal. A pilot, the pilot, he does it and he teaches it. Pilots, I don't know if they sell products, but they might get a commission from somebody, something. I just want us to think about this river income thing as a way to make better money with less stress. I'm not saying that hosting ExodUS Summit and teaching YouTube is zero stress, but it's much better than being a house sitter and teaching house sitting and being an online English teacher and selling, I don't even know if Mary Kay exists anymore, and trying to grow a Mary Kay business. And what are some other things y'all be out here doing? Whatever, right? Chasing separate, disparate streams. It's hard. Whereas growing one income river, there's more flow there. Tana Rose, cosmetologists do the same thing. Yes, they do. You're not leaving the beauty shop. You're not leaving. It's been years since I've been in the shop, but you wasn't leaving the shop without her telling you what she got there. Now they might sell other things. They sell they're going to sell hair stuff, but they might also sell books. You know, Black women, the beauty shop was the beauty shop. It was our like community center kind of. So she might have sold other things. You used to go buy tickets to concerts at the shop, right? She might sell other things there. But for the most part, she did hair. She might also teach doing hair, and she sold hair products. This is income flowing off of that one river. Okay. 10 Fingers music. My mom's been urging me to write piano and violin method books to teach my students. That would create another stream off of that same river instead of starting something from zero. So when do we start from zero? And again, zero is figurative because we're never starting from zero. You always have your old skill set and you always have some knowledge. No adult person is starting from zero. I hope that makes you feel better. Okay. No one's, even if you're starting from quote unquote zero, you're not starting from zero. Your old skill set applies to your new field. Your old skills can be applied to your new field, even if it's the soft skills, right? Even if it's the interpersonal communication, that is still not starting from zero. But what if you do want to, who should start from zero? I think people who absolutely hate the work that they do and the people that they serve in that work. Right? If you specifically are a tech lawyer, like Rashida was a lawyer in tech, she didn't like the job and she didn't like the people, right? Then maybe you need to find a new thing, right? Her river of income is from being taking that career break and then moving to Mexico. Take the career break, move to Mexico, start a YouTube channel, teach other people how to do that thing. Rivers of income. So who starts from zero? I think if you don't like doing the thing anymore, but you're okay with teaching other people to do the thing, I don't think you're starting from zero. I think you do that. But I think if you don't like doing the thing and you know that if you taught the thing, it would be teaching it to people you hate, right? Then maybe you take a full pivot, a full shift, it's okay to completely drop that thing you used to do and start anew. It's okay to totally drop it. But if you still like it, pivot, add in a different money maker that you're going to enjoy doing, right? That Hank Green video was really good. It was I've watched it more than once. Something about let me look at my history and see if I can find it for you. Follow your history. Don't follow your dreams, follow your tools is what it's. I'll link to it. You have a skill set, you have tools. Put them to work for you. Share, copy, paste. Okay. All right. Can we talk about getting clients? Yes. So I'm going to say there are 3 client getting levers that we pull when we want to get clients in a business. Whether you sell a digital product and you need people to buy the digital product, or you do coaching and you need people to come to coaching, or you sell t-shirts. I don't know. Physical products are different. Let's leave physical products alone because I don't know anything about physical products. I don't know how to do that. Or whatever. If you're a consultant and you go into businesses and you say, you're doing this wrong and do more of that and whatever. There are 3 levers that people pull. One lever is paid ads. I don't know nothing about that. Okay. I don't know anything about paid ads. I've run lots of paid ads. I've never felt like I got my money's worth from paid ads. I can't teach you paid ads. Okay. Lever number 2, your platform, growing your own platform where you have people who are interested in your thing on your platform. Like this YouTube channel. I just linked to, I didn't link to my Trusted House Sitters affiliate link. Let me do that. Trusted House Sitters. So here's my download your new house sitter toolkit and join Trusted House Sitters. On this platform, I'm always going to talk house sitting. Okay. House sitting changed my life. I'm always going to talk house sitting, and I'm always going to share with you Trusted House Sitters. I have this whole channel, which is creeping up on 200,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, please, if you haven't. Look at it and make sure you're subscribed. You might think you are and you're not. I would really love to start 2026 with 200K and not have to be counting up to it. Please help me, okay? Help me. Your own platform. So you pull the paid ads lever sometimes when you want to make sales. You also make sales inside of your own platform. And then the other lever is you go and talk your talk, deliver your message on other people's platforms. You go and talk to other people. I go and get interviewed about house sitting. And I talk to other people about house sitting. And I sell House Sitter School there. And people register for Trusted House Sitters using my affiliate link there. Your platform, other people's platforms, and paid ads are the ways that we get clients. I just finished the YouTube Success Challenge this week. I ran the YouTube Success Challenge this week as well. And we talked about growing your YouTube platform, right? But there's also the going to other people's platforms to talk your talk. I can't do this YouTube channel with just me every week. I don't. I don't. I bring a guest on in a minute. Let's see. There are things that they know that I don't know. I can't teach you that. Samira was my guest a few weeks ago. I really can't teach you money because I'm not sure. I just told you, I don't think money is even real, right? They put it in they say it's there, then they say it's not there. It's in your account. Now it's in somebody else's account. You never see the money. You never hold the money. I can't teach you money. Samira came and she taught you about money a few weeks ago, right? We need, as a content creator, I need people to come and talk to my community on my channel. And so she got to be a guest on my platform, and she got to talk her talk from her perspective. She got to teach what she knows how to teach. And some people registered for the thing that she was doing, right? She did a summit a few weeks later, and some of you registered and attended her summit. I was a speaker. I saw you there, right? A way that we get clients is that we get our message in front of relevant audiences. This requires a few things. It requires you to know what your message is, because Samira didn't come here to talk about her summit. She came here to talk about money. She came here to talk about wealth. She came here to talk about how to figure out your number, your financial independence number, a different way to think about it, right? Because hers is Coast Fire, which just means that her retirement account will be where it needs to be for her to retire at her retirement date. And she doesn't need to keep contributing to it anymore. Her side of the work is done. She came to talk to you and teach you a different perspective on financial independence, right? So you need to know what your message is. Her message is about wealth and about coasting to wealth. So you need to know what is your message. You need to know what is your offer, right? What do you do for people and why do they want it? And you need to know who has an audience of people who are interested in this message and who would be good clients for your offer. We often think of online business and YouTube as a one-person show, and I'm all alone and I do it all by myself, but it's absolutely not. There needs to be collaboration and connection and community. If you're not a collaborator, if you're a competitor, if you're a person who sees other people in your space as a competitor, it's not going to work for you. Okay? Collaboration is where it's at. I could have said to Samira, no, you can't talk about money on my channel. I talk about money on my channel. Even though my money talk is very different from her money talk, I could have been like, no, competition. You host a summit, I host a summit. Competition. No, you can't do that. Right? That is how some people approach this thing. That's not how people grow. That's not how people grow. Then you would have been so much the worst. The worst. Some of you would not know what Coast Fire is still today. Some of you wouldn't know that you're like, my retirement is funded on my part. I just need that its side to do its thing. I've done my part. Some of you came away from that conversation knowing that you don't need to contribute anymore, or at least not as heavily anymore, to your retirement account, because it's on pace to get you where it needs to get you, when it needs to get you there. Others of you learned that I might be 10 or 12 years away, but it's realistic now. Whereas retirement wasn't realistic for me before. I thought I was going to just work till the grave. And now I know how to figure out a number. I know some calculators that'll help me figure out how much I need to contribute to get to that number, right? Super helpful conversation we had together. And couldn't happen if I was a competitor and not a collaborator. So your question though was about getting clients. You can pull those levers, paid ads, your platform, other people's platforms. You pull those levers, that's where your clients come from. Your clients don't come from you being too shy, I'm an introvert. Oh, I'm an introvert. Girl, everybody's an introvert. Okay. According to the internet, everybody believes they're an introvert. Okay. They're still making money. They still have a message. They still have something to say. Oh my gosh, my parents, I left the house yesterday with my parents. And I always know when I leave with them, we're not coming straight home. Right? I just want to be in this room. I just want to come in here and shut the door and be a hermit. Can I be a hermit for a little while? Can I? Where I miss hermit. Where is the hermit time? We're out. We go to a party, which was wonderful. Nice to see everybody. Nice to be here in Dover, Delaware, and see everybody. We go to a party, but then after the party, they want to go here and there and everywhere. I'm an introvert. Okay, I'm more than an introvert. I'm a hermit. That personality test that I took said hermit. Okay, you know what I do? I make 6 times my annual salary online. A hermit, an introvert. I make 6 times what I used to make as a pharmacy technician or as a credit analyst. I make 6x that money online. They like, oh, let's go here. Let's go. They've been tricking me like that since forever. My dad is not a homebody. Once my dad gets you out the house, you out the house. You out the house. I'm like, I fall for it every time. I saw a question that I wanted to go back to, but I don't think I started. So I'm going to go to the starred questions, but I'm sorry. There was another one that I didn't get to. Suzanne Scott, this is your super chat post. For some reason, it's not putting it on the screen, but thank you very much, Suzanne Scott, for the super chat. On this channel, the super chat money goes to the Vacarian Sabbatical Fund so that we can send a Black woman on sabbatical. I don't know where my phone is. My phone must be downstairs. I think we have raised, I want to say $6,000 or $7,000 so far this year. Once we get to closer, then I bump us up. But anyway, thank you very much for that super chat. Wise Words CK, how do you plan financially when there is no predictability? I think it's just a matter of buffers. I think things are pretty predictable. Even a crash, right? Even a crash is predictable. We've seen crashes before and we've seen recoveries before. Every recovery is faster than the last, right? The recovery after the 2008 crash was much faster than the recovery after the 1920s crash, right? I think it's just a matter of having buffers. Again, you don't want to take money advice from me, okay? I don't think money is real. But I will say, I think I, as a person who makes my money on the internet without a traditional job, I feel better equipped to recover from some downturn, from some problem. I feel more equipped to recover from it now than if I had a traditional job. In the olden times, if I lost my job, I don't know how to make any money. I don't know what to do, right? Today, as a person with these income rivers, right? With these income sources, if a source goes away, I know what to do. I know ways to make the money that I need to live my life. So financially, how do you plan financially? I think knowing how to make money apart from a traditional job is important. I think it's imperative. I mean, Black women, y'all don't have traditional jobs anymore anyway. I don't, right? Like 2025 introduced, if you hadn't already been introduced to the concept of ain't no jobs, 2025 was like, girl, ain't no jobs. So knowing how to make an income apart from a traditional job, and then knowing how to turn up the dial on something if you need to. Plus knowing that every downturn comes followed by an upswing is helpful. I also feel very secure because house sitting means I get free accommodation. If worse comes to worse, and I'm back financially where I was in 2017, right? With no job and no income. I know I got a free place to stay. House sitting means I know I can get a free place as long as I can get there, which would probably mean finding houses wherever I was in the world. I know I have a free accommodation. Now I just need to make money to eat. And I know how to make $10 an hour on Cambly, right? For me, planning means having a backup plan, even if I'm not going to activate that backup plan right now, right? I'm not on Cambly. Cambly does not fit into my income rivers, but I know how to do it. I know how to turn that faucet on if I need it. I don't know if that, I hope that was helpful. I see a question for Tana Rose. Are you concerned about AI replacing you? Not one bit. AI is dumb as hell. Let me tell you. Not one bit. AI don't know a damn thing. AI will give you all the wrong information. No. I think that lots of people are using AI for things that they should be turning to an actual human person for. And I think all they need is one mistake and they'll come back to human people. I think that, yeah, okay. You can go to AI and be like, how do I become a house sitter? But AI has never house sat. And AI, artificial intelligence, pulls information from the internet without knowing if those sources are valid. Anybody could type anything. I could make a blog post right now or a YouTube video right now that says, here's how to make $3 million a year as a house sitter. And then you go to AI and AI will tell you the average house sitter salary is $3 million a year. AI is dumb as hell. AI has zero life experience. So no. I'm not concerned with that. I think there are spaces in the world that I think it makes sense to be like, I may need to pivot. So earlier when I said who needs to pivot, like who needs a hard pivot, who needs to start from quote unquote zero, figurative zero, not absolute zero, who needs to start from zero. Maybe if you do see AI wiping out your industry, then maybe you need to make a real pivot. But if your thing relies on human connection and actual experience, actual knowledge, I don't think we need to worry about it. It's so dumb. So easily manipulated. So easily, so easily manipulated that it's been really unhelpful. Really unhelpful. You can ask AI, how do I get residency in Panama? But AI does not know how you get residency in Panama. AI has gone and stolen other people's content explaining how to get residency in Panama, but AI doesn't know how to vet those sources, right? I think discernment is such a valuable human skill. And these white men who create these AI things don't understand discernment. And you can't program discernment. Apparently you can't. If you could, they would have already. Okay. If they could program discernment, AI would already be able to discern what makes sense and what does not make sense. Right? Why does this recipe for banana bread include kerosene? Right? What is it? I think that more than my concern about AI replacing me, my concern is about AI making us so stupid, making us so unwilling to answer our own questions. I didn't have it this time, but a few YouTube challenges ago, I asked women to sit down and answer a specific question about themselves, and they couldn't do it without going to AI. That is my concern. My concern is about AI making us stupid and complacent and that. My concern is about AI making us more interested in a fantasy life than improving our actual physical life. There are people who will spend hours and hours talking to their chatbot like it's a friend instead of making a friend, right? There are people who will talk to the chatbot, give their chatbot a human name, and talk to their chatbot like it's a person instead of just developing human connection. There's people everywhere. There's people everywhere. You don't need to call your chatbot by a name and make it your friend. It's if you picture that as the chatbot was programmed by a white American slaveholder's grandson. Why do you want to be friends with that chatbot when there's Black women to the right and to the left of you? My concern about AI is those things more than it's about AI replacing me as a house sitter who helps people house sit and as a person who helps people with YouTube and moving abroad, right? I think my income rivers are safe because AI is going to tell you, let's talk about specifically in the YouTube space. AI, just one of the women in my challenge just yesterday, she had such a good chat title on her YouTube video, and then AI told her to change it. And I was like, girl, what is this new video title? She made the video called How Holiness Taught Black Women to Disappear. Does anybody feel any feelings about that video? I'm like, oh, tell me more. And then AI told her to change the video title to, let's see if she changed it back. AI told her to change it to Script That Told Black Women Everyone Else Comes First. AI don't know shit. AI don't know nothing about you or emotions or community. AI don't know that, right? The Holiness That Taught Black Women to Disappear is such a good title. It only comes because you know Black women. You know the concept of holiness and what that has done to Black churchy women, right? And you only know that that's a good thing because you have human life experience. AI has zero life experience. And so AI can't get you a good YouTube title like that, right? I think. Anybody with me? Anybody dislike the holiness title and prefer the Script That Taught Black Women Everyone Else Comes First? It's not a bad title. I don't know what the script is. I guess it was supposed to be scripture and they didn't want to say scripture, so they said script. I don't know. But these are my thoughts. Okay. One thing I'm going to tell you is what I think. If you ask me what I think, I'm going to tell you what I think. A lot of people would not tell you what they think. They'd be like, well, you decide. So, yeah, I think I saw it in a couple of challenges ago. I saw a real decline in critical thinking abilities from the Black women who are already using some sort of AI tool. Like, I'm asking you about you. I'm asking you a question specifically about you. It was just like, what YouTube channels do you watch? And what subjects do you turn to YouTube for? Everybody should be able to answer that question, even if it's, I don't watch YouTube videos, right? Everybody in my challenge watches YouTube videos because you don't know about my challenge until you've seen it, until I told you about it in a YouTube video. You watch YouTube. You should know what you like. They couldn't answer that question. So I went to ChatGPT and it told me. Right? Probably 3 years. So I've been doing this challenge for 4 years now. And probably 3 years ago was the first time someone said, I use a tool called ChatGPT. I think it's been 3 years now. And everybody in the challenge was like, what is that? Right? In 3 years' time, or maybe 2 years' time, we've gone from what is that? I've never heard of that to I can't live my life without it. I can't make a decision without it. I can't think. I've lost all ability to think for myself. That's my concern. My concern with AI is not about it replacing humans, because it can't, because it's not a human. And if nothing else, we're wired for human to human things, interactions and contact. I don't even like mannequins, right? You know I'm not gonna like AI. I don't even like mannequins. You know I'm not gonna like AI. I want some human to human. Okay, but did I finish your comment? The amount of water these data. Okay, another problem is all of the internet. It's not just AI tools, but all of these tools, all of the internet is draining resources from real human people, real money, I mean, real water, real electricity, all of that. Yeah, from 2002 to 2022. Yeah, in a little couple years time, we've some people have surrendered their lives, right, to something that's programmed by the white grandson of a slaveholder. Like, why would you trust it in the first place? What white people do you know who you would let program your life? What white person do you know who you would let program your life? Then why are you letting Chat GPT live your life? It's programmed by these white grandsons of these white slaveholders who believe white is superior and believe that everyone else is not a human deserving of dignity and respect. Why would you let them answer any question for you, let alone how to live your life? Beautiful evolution. Hi, Stephanie. What strategy would you suggest for someone who is starting over from negative money after an 18-month layoff? I would probably start with, because the things that we generally do for good money take time to grow. I would start with some sort of gig work. Okay? So even though I said gig work is not the best money, there is a relief that comes from the relief of having some money, right? So I would take the pressure off with some sort of gig work, some sort of money that you know I can work this many hours and make this much money. Where y'all at? Y'all are here. I think, okay, that's where I would start. And then I would take some time to figure out what my river is going to be and what's the first place for that river. What do I know? Thing that people, what is my thing that I can know I can make money doing? That is going to be my plan, my strategy. If you haven't yet, I would look at the sessions in Exodus Summit 2025 and see if any of those jump out. We had sessions on being a tax preparer. We had sessions on starting a consultant business, virtual assistant work, which is what I did, and very near and dear to my heart, a way that I made money with a skill set that I already had, plus adding in some things that I could learn on YouTube, right? A virtual assistant can learn the skills that they do in their business on YouTube for free, and then charge money to people to actually do those things. So I would look at Exodus Summit 2025 if I don't know what my river is going to be. But I would take the pressure off with some sort of gig work, right? Some sort of, I can work 8 hours and I can make $80. And I would lower my expenses, of course, right? Absolutely lower my expenses. House sitting is what lowered my expenses for me. Those are things that I would do. Was that at all helpful? Event, I'm trying to find gig work. Difficult to find a job that works around my current schedule. So some of the ones so in that 9 gig jobs video, let's see what they were. I know that one of them was tutoring English online, but I think if I look in the description, I can see what they were. Good morning. Tutoring English online, and then Preply, academic tutoring, virtual assistant. That is a thing that is super flexible, super flexible. Virtual assistants are the business owners, right? Virtual assistants work for themselves. Actually, in that video, I talked about working as a virtual assistant for an agency, but I think that's still very flexible. Being a host of a short-term rental, house sitting, online notary, tax preparer, voiceover artist, which may be one of the things on here that is susceptible to AI takeover, right? I think if any of these are susceptible to being susceptible to AI's influence or destruction, I think voiceover artist is the one on that original list that I would either ignore, right? I would skip voiceover artist if I was really concerned about AI taking over things, or I would make sure that I know how to differentiate myself. Make sure I know how to be a voiceover artist that would not be susceptible to AI. Just like I think I'm a YouTube coach who is not susceptible to AI's takeover. Do I need a visa to house sit in Mexico? No, because you're a tourist. You're not getting paid to house sit, so you don't need any kind of visa. You go in under your passport as a tourist. You don't even need to tell people that you don't even need to tell the immigration people that you're house sitting. Even Trusted House Sitter says that. You're just a tourist. Okay. How do I feel about Trusted House Sitter's new sit confirmation fee? I think prices of everything goes up. Okay. Prices go up. So now Trusted House Sitters has 3 tiers of membership. I believe it's still 3. I think they kept the middle one still. Nobody ever uses the middle one, but I believe they still have 3 tiers of membership. The most inexpensive tier of membership now means you pay for your annual membership and you have to pay, I think it's like $12. Is it $12 for each sit that you confirm? I like that better than raising the price of the membership. I like it, right? That means you don't have to pay the higher price. You don't pay any extra until you confirm a house sit, until you already know that you're going to get your money's worth out of the house sitting membership. So I like it. It's better than them doubling the cost of the membership. Now, if you keep the premium Trusted House Sitters membership, you don't have to pay per sit. I think the premium one is now helpful if you think you're going to have more than 10 house sits a year. Get the premium, right? And or if you want to house sit in a place that is more than a drive away, if you're going to have to get on a train or a bus to house sit somewhere, then you want the premium anyway, because that one comes with sit cancellation insurance. If for some reason you need to pay for your own place to stay, maybe because they get the COVID and they can't go on their vacation, now you need to pay for a hotel, the sit cancellation insurance will reimburse you. So the new pricing structure to me means that premium is a better deal for you if you think you're going to do many house sits in a year, right? You're not just looking for one house sit here you're going to Portugal for August and you want to find an August house sit in Portugal. Okay, then the basic one, well, no, because Portugal is, let's say Palm Springs. You want a house sit in Palm Springs in August, and that's the only house sit that you think you're going to do, or you're only going to do 1 or 2 or 3 in a year. Basic, still okay. But the premium one is now helpful if you want to do if you would like to do at least 10 house sits in a year, and or you want a house sit far away from where you live. Okay. So I'm okay with it. Prices go up. I'm glad that the price didn't go up for everyone, right? Instead of them raising that basic membership and making it more out of reach for people, I think that's I like that idea. I like that idea. With house sitting through Trusted House Sitters, you pay to get yourself there, which is why people like to specialize in a place, right? Or some regions. Any course recommendations for those of us interested in virtual assistant work? I don't have experience, but I'm willing to get trained. Hannah Dixon, who's a white woman, has a program called the Digital Nomad Kit. And Hannah Dixon, quite a few women in this community learned to be a virtual assistant through Hannah Dixon's Digital Nomad Kit. Back in the day, I used VA Savvy's. I don't see her around anymore, but I think it still exists. It was a Facebook community plus courses that you could watch, VA Savvy's. I used her for the business stuff, and then I used YouTube and Skillshare to learn the actual skills I needed. Right? My virtual assistant business was email marketing and email list growth. I specialized in those things, even though I didn't know how to do those things. I just knew that they were important things that coaches needed, and things that I could do. So I helped coaches make a lead magnet. Let's figure out what your free PDF or your free download or your free challenge is going to be. And then I'll make it. I used to make it for them on Canva. And then I would put the lead magnet up for them on wherever they were, MailChimp, MailerLite, Kajabi, whatever. Make their landing page for it. And that. And I learned how to do those things between YouTube and Skillshare for over just a couple of hours. Yeah, I think I learned how to make a landing page in a couple hours. I did those things. Now, I wasn't good at charging prices, okay? I didn't understand fully what a coach's potential income would be from a lead magnet at the time. And so I wasn't good at communicating what their potential income could be. And I wasn't good at charging based on what the potential income could be. But I did charge and I did make money. I did make enough money to be in a house sit in Mexico, right? I made enough money to be places and eat while I'm getting free accommodation. But somebody like Hannah Dixon with the Digital Nomad Kit is a resource that many a woman in this community has used to start their virtual assistant business. And remember, virtual assistants are a lot of virtual assistants help businesses, but there are virtual assistants who help individuals. I was just told by Roshni, who is Glamazini, my friend, I was just told I need a personal assistant in my life. Okay. Too many things are falling through the cracks. And Stephanie, you need a personal assistant who can do the things that you're not doing. And that could be a virtual personal assistant, right? Virtual assistants run the gamut from working for large corporations to working for individual entrepreneurs to working for individual people and families. So you find a thing that you specialize in. I would start with the clientele that you want to serve and a clientele that you already have access to. If you're a teacher, right? Is there such a thing as a virtual assistant who helps teachers with their lesson plans? I don't know. But maybe if you're so sick of teaching, you start a virtual assistant business that serves teachers or serves educators or serves people in that world. Start with the people you already have access to. Or if you're in the ExodUS Summit community, so there's thousands of women in the ExodUS Summit community. What is the thing that they would want? Or what businesses do you have connections in? Or do you go to the Black something conference every year? Do you have access to a specific group of people? Can you create a virtual assistant business that serves that specific group of people? Instead, this is why I say we don't start from zero. Even if you go from a teacher to a virtual assistant, you're not starting from zero. You know some people. So maybe your virtual assistant business is geared towards those people you already know. I started mine for coaches, and my first client was my mom's friend, who was a coach and an author, right? I don't know that Tim was my first client, but he was my most consistent, my repeat client. Other clients were one-off projects, maybe do two things for me. Tim was my most consistent client. I happen to know a coach and author who needed some support. For some of you, your virtual assistant or your consulting first client is going to be the job. You're going to leave your job and your first client. I posted that in the community because somebody told me that, and I would love to interview her. She became a consultant. Her job wouldn't let her go remote. So she formed a consulting business and became a consultant, and her job became her first client. The old job became her first client. Kat from Rebloom Room has some things. Here's the thing that she thinks she sees a need for. Virtual assistant for blended families or families with working parents and school-aged kids. Right? A virtual assistant doesn't have to be in the entrepreneur space. A virtual assistant doesn't have to be for entrepreneurs. We know of virtual assistants. I know of virtual assistants because Tim Ferris wrote the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and he talked about hiring virtual assistants, right? That's when I started hearing that this thing even existed. Before I even took my sabbatical in 2015, I knew that a virtual assistant was a thing, and I knew it from there. But a virtual assistant can be, it's an assistant on the internet. Anybody who needs an internet assistant, there's going to be some people who are at some point going to have AI psychosis, okay, which is a real thing. AI has really effed them up, and they need some people to do up. They need people to do the things that AI used to do for them. I think a virtual assistant for people coming out of AI psychosis, I think that's a future business. It may not be, there may not be enough people today, but there will be people who are like, yes, AI drove me to the point of psychosis. And so I had to stop using AI. But AI had also been helpful with me doing X, Y, and Z, and now I need a person to help me with X, Y, Z. I think that's a real thing that's going to happen. Maybe not today, maybe not today, but there will be a thing. That will be, we're gonna see it, okay? Okay. Okay. I'm looking for questions and comments. Hi, breezy one. I was a virtual assistant in 2009 when it wasn't well known. I was able to quit my full-time corporate job back then. Yeah, virtual assistant was my thing. TPT is worth exploring for those that have classroom experience. What's TPT? Do y'all know what TPT is? Blurred says, I need work to get to the house sits. I feel like I'm in a loop. Then fine. So are you, let me say, I don't think, are you saying that you have no work that will let you be anywhere in the world? Then look at that virtual session, that session on gig work that I just did, the video on gig work and the sessions in ExodUS Summit. Pick something, get started on something that will make you enough money so that you can house sit and be wherever you want in the world, if that's what you want, right? If your traditional job is standing in the way of you living your life, let me tell you all this, okay? If your traditional job is stopping you from living your dreams, you don't have a job, you have a master. A job is supposed to help, job should be a means to an end. The end is the life that I want. The job should be a way to get you to the life that you want. No matter how much money that job is paying you, if the job is in the way of you living your life, it's not a job, it's a master. It's stopping you from living. It's doing the exact opposite of what a job should do. I believe that there are jobs out there that will help you live the life that you want. There are jobs that will give you the money and the time and the skill set and the connections and network to elevate your life over and over and over again. But as long as you decide that you're going to stick with the job that is enslaving you, you're not going to get to the job that elevates you. For some of us, it's never going to be an actual job. For some of us, it's going to be a business or an entrepreneurship or investing or something. But for some of us, there can be a job that can help elevate you, right? If you want to be a film director, there's pathways to that. And that may be a PA on a film set. I don't know how you get those jobs. I don't know. Or it may be being a YouTube filmmaker, making your own videos on YouTube, right? There's two different pathways. But being a, what's in the way of being a filmmaker? Being a something else. What's a job that would be totally in the way? A job that's like a police officer, I would guess, or something with totally like unpredictable hours and whatever, is probably in the way. When I started, I told you that I made about $60,000 a year as a credit analyst in the early 2000s. And then I left that and I went to a hospital pharmacy technician job where I made $46,000 a year. We don't have to always be climbing. We can stay if you set your life up in a way that you can take a step back, you've created a life where you have freedom, where you have choices and decision, when you can make decisions and live life based on what you want instead of being hemmed in. I think money's not real, but I also know that things cost money and things cost more and more money over time. But there is such a thing as taking a step back so that you can take two steps forward. And sometimes we get so hemmed into our current job that we can't take any steps. We're just stuck in a corner, right? Little video game character just banging its head into the corner. Take a step back, pivot to the left, live your dreams. Sometimes a way to do that is to lower your expenses. And sometimes a way to do that is house sitting. Sometimes a way to do that is co-living. Sometimes a way to do that is invest like short-term rental, renting out a room in your home, renting out 2-3 rooms in your home. There are ways to make sure that you're not just a little cartoon character banging your head into a corner. And sometimes that requires you to take a step back. I think sometimes we wait too long to do, not too long, but we wait so long to do these other things that we have only one idea of how things can be done. I don't know. I'm not saying this right. Like all the time I hear women say, I want to move abroad once I pay off some debt. Like, girl, move abroad and then pay off the debt. Go to a place where your whole life costs what you're paying in daycare, then pay off the debt, right? We're told that there's one way to do things, but there's not one way to do things. There's not one way to do anything. I don't know of anything that there's only one way to do it. I saw a video of somebody tying his shoes the other day with one hand, and I was like, oh, that knot is very different from the way I've been tying my shoes, but it's a knot. There's multiple ways, there are multiple knots that you could use to tie your shoes. It was just a video. I have one arm. Here's how I tie my shoes. If you are determined, if you think that you know the way to do things, run that way by some other people who are relevant people who are in that world. It may be in the Exodus Summit community. It may be in coaching with us at Exodus ASAP. But run your way by other people. And when they go, girl, why are you doing it that way? Listen to what they're saying. Rashida and I, when we coach women, there's always somebody who were like, if you would just flip that, you have the plan. You just determined to do it in this wrong order or in like this harder order, not wrong order, but harder order. But if you moved abroad, you could pay off your debt better. Right? You have X amount of income or investments or whatever, savings, the money, you've told me the money is not a problem, or you have a job or you have a business, but you're waiting until you pay off this debt or you're waiting until your kids graduate. Like, why? Why do you think that that's the only way things can be done? I don't know. I have sold some clothes on Poshmark. Poshmark, you have to have the patience with my experience with Poshmark, and maybe it's because my clothes weren't all that exciting to people. But my experience with selling your clothes on Poshmark is that you have to be okay with a lot of, is this still available? And you're listing it for $80 and they're like, will you take $8? Right? You gotta have patience with a site like Poshmark. But I have sold things on Poshmark. And matter of fact, I have some things here. So I made an order with Banana Republic last time I was here, either August or April. And the order got stuck. It just, for over a week, I ordered it before I even got here. And for weeks and weeks, the order was stuck. So finally, when I went to customer service, they were like, okay, we're going to send another order. So I got that second order and then I got the first order. I'd only paid for one order, but I got the Right. So now I've got two of everything. It was a pair of shoes, a jumpsuit, and a bed, like a not a bedspread, but a bed cover, a quilt type thing. And so I was like, well, I might sell these things on Poshmark. Right? They're still in the bags or the boxes. But with Poshmark, you have to just be okay with a lot of conversation around an item compared to the number of buyers for an item, unless your stuff is something that people would be like, I'm getting that. Now, I did buy a used purse on the used purse site, and I didn't go, it wasn't no going back and forth. She said, here's the list price. And I was like, here's the money, right? Selling things online is either up or down. It's Raven's decluttering using eBay. Okay, good. And Erica De Niro TV says she uses OfferUp. Is it the same experience? Karen says consider eBay. Yeah, so some people, Viv is Yoga Bliss Dance, and she says some people are not flexible. They're more rigid. Yeah, but get more flexible. If you're a person who knows that you're a rigid thinker, practice being more flexible. Practice it. Flex that muscle. It's a muscle. You can become more flexible because there's not a whole lot in life where there's payoff for being rigid. There's not a lot of payoff for it. It's got to be worth it. And I don't think being rigid is worth it. I think you're losing more than you gain. I think it's a thing that people can change. You think people can undo that, Viv, or like unlearn that? I think people can unlearn it. Raven says she gets quick sales on eBay. Okay, good. Oh, happy birthday, Miss Cece. Happy birthday. And Yvette says she sells on Macari. Oh, but the fees are significant. Okay. Oh, Coco Brown, you said that before about money. I don't know what I said, but I say a lot. You said that before about money, and it made me realize I could travel for a year. And so I did, and I'm still bopping. Congratulations, Coco. Where are you? And where have you been? And how is it? Tell us everything. So to clarify, hi Dionysus. So to clarify, would you recommend building multiple streams of income from one talent or skill, or building an income source from your best talent or skills? Yes to both. Multiple streams. Start with an income source from your best talent or skill. Yes, okay. And then from there, add another. Yes to both. First the second, then the first. If I'm not clear, ask me a more specific, like you can give me a real example, but I think I'm getting it. There's some good experiences, like people are sharing their experiences selling things on Poshmark and on eBay in the chat. So if you're in the process of getting rid of some things, decluttering, and you want to know what it's like, what are the fees like or whatever, there's some conversation in the chat about that. Hi, Tina. I recently took a part-time position that is mostly remote, but in 4 months, I've strategically become their social media manager and graphic designer so I can work for them when I leave the US if I want. Strategy. That's good, right? That's good. Then you make them your client. That's good. Yeah, the job should be a means to an end. The job should give you either the skill set and or the money and or the time and or the connections to live out the life that you want. Okay, so this idea of the job being the boss of you is very American, and you know what I'm about to say. It's fruit of the slavery tree. The idea that you don't do these things because of your job, the idea that you don't travel the world, or you don't have these hobbies, or you don't do these things because of your job is a super American thing. And guess what? The country we live in happened to have been built on a foundation of slavery. That's fruit of the slavery tree. When you go to other countries or you meet people from other countries, there's a reason they don't live like that. right? The job is not the boss. The job is a means to an end. The job is so that you can make enough money to live out the dream, and not live out the dream when you're 75, but live out the dream day to day. It seems really foreign. Somebody right now is like, no, no, jobs and dreams don't go together. You work the job and then you retire and you live the dream. That's not how the world does it. That's how the United States does it. Okay? There are people out there, some of them jobs give them sabbaticals, right? Every 4 years, there are jobs out there like every 4 years, Europeans, every 4 years, I take 4 months off. Jobs are not supposed to be the end all. Jobs are supposed to be the means to the end. You have to know what you want for your life to know if your job is supporting you in that. And I believe that there are jobs that can support you in the things that you want for yourself. But first, you got to know what it is that you want. And then you need to be able to evaluate, is my job getting me closer to or further from those things? Instead of just saying, this is my job, and so I can't do these other things. That job is supposed to get you closer to it. It's supposed to be the means to the end. Okay. What you want can change from period in your life to period in your life, right? There was a time in my life where I wanted certain things. Now there's a time in my life when I want other things. There's a time when I just wanted to bop around the world and be free. Now I want to be in a house and I want furniture, right? I want plants. The end can change, but the job should support you in getting that thing. If the job doesn't support you in getting the things that you want for yourself, you don't have a job. If the job doesn't get you closer to what you want, you don't have a job. You have a master. It seems perfectly normal to us because guess what? We were raised in a place where our people had a master. But the people who weren't raised like that, it sounds really crazy to them. Kat said, don't go to AI and ask it what you want for your life. AI will have you blowing your brains out before you know it. AI psychosis is real. There are people who AI, eventually what it leads you to is suicide. Okay? AI is not a person. It is a ones and zeros, and it's programmed by evil white people. And AI should not be your crutch. It should not be a thing that you lean on. Maybe AI can help you write your newsletter or the copy for your website. Maybe. Actually not, because AI is not good at, just like that example of the video title, AI is going to have everything, your website sounding like garbage. But it could do that for you if you wanted to, but it should not be replacing humans in your life. In the Garden of Vida, hi. I'm trying to get my monetized YouTube channel back in order. It's been a year. I made $4,000 monthly. So what do you mean get it back in order? That's good money. I don't get it. UVA Aviator. Yes, Ford Motor Company offered sabbaticals. I took 8 months off. It was one of the best things I did in my life. How long ago was that? Okay, so we don't have any more questions. Are we good to go? So what we talked about today, we talked about your rivers of income, your income sources coming from a river. Your sources of income probably would come from a river rather than individual streams. Your river is going to be different from my river, but I hope that the examples that I gave you will spur ideas in you. Okay? Did I give you enough resources? I linked to the video, gig work video, for those of you who are like, no, not rivers. Let's find some individual streams. I linked to my gig work video, and I'll put that in the description of this video. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. I'm wrapping up though. I'm telling you, I'm wrapping things up. Oh, I left my job and laziness got in the way. It's okay to, so there are people who would say, don't call it laziness, call it rest. But I'm down with the word lazy. I don't think lazy has a negative connotation until we give it that. I don't think the word lazy is inherently negative. Maybe because I'm lazy. I don't think lazy is inherently negative, just like I don't think fat. I'm fat. I don't think fat is an inherently negative word. It's just a word to describe a state. It's okay to have a lazy approach to things. I think lazy people solve a lot of problems in better ways than the hard workers. And it's okay. And you can, if you want to get back on YouTube, just start making more videos. I just finished my YouTube challenge, but I have a course called Get Found on YouTube at vicarious.com/get found. You probably don't need it, Vita, if your channel was making $4,000 a month. I don't know that there's anything new that I could teach you. YouTube hasn't changed all that much, right? But I just want you to know that you don't have to beat yourself up about laziness. We earned a little laziness. We earned it with our backs. We earned laziness. Okay? Enjoy it for those people you carry with you in your DNA. It flex laziness. When you have the ability, I think laziness is luxury. I don't know. I think having the ability to be lazy in this economy, I think that's a flex. I don't know. Y'all know I think about things my own way. I think having the ability to be lazy when prices are going up, I think if you can do it, do it. If you can be lazy, be lazy. If you can do less, do less. Right? In this economy, Lorana, is it lazy or is it balanced? Hi, Lorana. Are you back in Ecuador? And how's everything? Right? Because so many people cannot afford to be lazy. They just can't afford it. Again, you can replace the word lazy with rested or relaxing or something. I don't have a problem with the word lazy. I meant to Google it. I meant to look up. Let's go to the dictionary. Unwilling to work or use energy. I don't think that's negative. Until you say it's negative. Unwilling. I am unwilling to use my energy on that. I think that pretty much sums me up. I think that's me in a nutshell. And so, anyway, we can reclaim the word lazy, or we can find a different way of describing that state. I'm team reclaim the word lazy. I'm unwilling to use my energy on that. Unwilling. Ebony Monk Adams, it's using your energy efficiently. I am unwilling to use my energy on that. That's the definition. Now, I just went to Google. I didn't go to I said dictionary and then lazy, definition of lazy. But now the negative connotations that you associate with it maybe will prevent you from using the word lazy in a neutral tone. Okay, in that case, find another word. But if you can say lazy without judgment, have at it. I have no problem with the word lazy. People be like, "What you doing?" I'll be like, sometimes I just laze about. I like to laze about. But if there's some healing that needs to be done before you can be okay with the word lazy, just replace it with something else. Relaxed, resting, something else. Kat says we need to reclaim the word if we decide to use it. Use it in a way that leads to your freedom. Okay. But if it cuts you when you hear it or use it, then don't use it. Don't call yourself that. Okay. Okay. If it hurts, put it down. Okay. If it hurts you, put it down. That's pretty much anything in life. If it hurts, put it down. Stop cutting yourself with that word, right? Stop calling yourself lazy if it hurts you. That's do that with all things, all right? If it hurts you, don't touch it. Instead of just saying calling yourself lazy and beating yourself up about it, don't say it. Grace. Give yourself grace. I feel like I was wrapping up. Okay, so I was saying, I was making sure that I pointed you to the resources that I wanted to point you to. So the question was asked of me, how do you get clients? I should have told you this earlier, okay? But you're still here, so I'm glad about that. Inside of the Exodus ASAP membership in January, we are doing the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. The Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge is designed for you to figure out your offer. What is your message around that offer? How do you get that message in front of relevant people? So I gave the example of Samira coming here and talking to you about Coast Fire, about a version of financial independence and how to navigate that for yourself, right? That's her message. How to get your message in front of relevant audiences and how to turn that conversation into clients. You've seen it happen. I do it. People do it on my channel. You've seen it happen. If you're ready to activate this for you and for your business, we're doing the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge inside of Exodus ASAP. Now, in the past, we've done it on 6 consecutive days. It's a lot. So this time we're going to do it over 3 weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays in January. The first 3 Tuesdays and Thursdays of January, we're doing the challenge. We're spreading it out so that you don't have to feel rushed and, exhausted. You're welcome. This is Rashida's brilliant idea to spread it out, to do it that way. So inside of the Exodus ASAP membership, the Get Your Next 3 Clients 6-day challenge is now the Get Your Next 3 Clients 3-week challenge, even though it's still 6 coaching days. ExodusASAP.com is where you go to join or rejoin. If you're an alumni of the challenge, right? If you've already been in the challenge and you want to do it again, you're welcome to join us in Exodus ASAP. If you've never done the challenge, you're welcome to join us in Exodus ASAP. The membership is a full Move Abroad membership where you work on your Peace Out protocol. And of course, part of the Peace Out protocol is, where is this money going to come from? If you are already or are considering something like coaching or consulting, freelancing, and you need to get clients, then please join us in the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. It is exactly what we teach in the challenge is exactly what we do so that we can make the money that we make, right? We don't gatekeep. We're not like hiding our money-making skill set from you. We want to share it with you, and we want to work with you and give you feedback and give you the community that is also included in the ASAP membership. The same way that we sell tickets to Exodus Summit, the same way we enroll people in the Exodus ASAP membership, the same way that I get people into my YouTube challenge and my YouTube coaching, right? That's the same thing that we teach you inside of the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge, right? Rashida and I are not starving for cash money. We make the money to live our lives abroad, and we teach you how to do that thing yourself. Okay. So we're not gatekeeping, except that only Black women. Okay. So we gatekeep we give this information to Black women only, right? This challenge is for Black women only. But we're not here talking about, oh, life is so great. We're making good money. Money is flowing, but we can't tell you how. On a cruise, the cruise is amazing. I'm not going to tell you how I made the money to take this cruise. Instead, we share that information. If you have a thing that you think could become something, you have an idea, you have a service that you want to give, or a product that you want to sell, or a community that you want to help, if you think you have something that you want to give and you're a Black woman and you need to figure out what is the thing, What does the thing cost? How do I do this? And how do I get clients in this? The Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge is a wonderful way to jumpstart all of that, right? Women leave the challenge with a business. And we're not talking about with the busy work of a business. We're not talking about a website and don't do any of that. Okay. Get clients. Okay. Get clients. Then the other stuff will kind of take care of itself. A lot of things get when you have the money to do things, when your business is bringing in the money to do things, it's a whole lot less stressful. A lot of that stuff that you spend time and effort on is not directly related to getting clients. So join us in the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. ExodusASAP.com is the membership, and we will get your business going, right? We'll teach you how to get clients. We're going to spend January on that. Okay. Some of the women, usually it's about half and half. Some of the women already have a business and some don't, half don't. So you don't have to feel either way like it's not for you. It's for you if you're a Black woman and you need to get some clients. It's for you if you need to get clients online. If you're a Black woman and you need to get clients online. If you sell physical products, I'm sure there's a better coach for you. Because we don't know about physical products. We don't know about brick and mortar things. Okay. But you're welcome to join us in the Exodus ASAP membership. If you join now, you get, you need to be a member in the challenge to come to coaching. I mean, you need to be a member in Exodus ASAP to come to coaching. And the dates, I'm doing like this when my calendar is up here. When the dates are January 6 and 8, 13 and 15, 20 and 22. So if you join today, is that right? 6? Let me go back. Why don't I see it on here? 20 and 22. There it is. Okay. If you join today, you'll need to be in for 2 months to take part in the challenge. But the good news is, if you join today, the third coaching session for the Peace Out Protocol Challenge is happening on Thursday, December 18th. So you can take advantage of that Peace Out Protocol Challenge and coaching, that last session, and the YouTube, not the YouTube challenge, the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. I love a challenge, but having 3 different challenges that I like do or teach means that sometimes I mix the names up. Okay. ExodusASAP.com is how you join the Exodus ASAP membership. If you join with the 3-month bundle, you'll get a ticket to Exodus Summit 2026. So it's worth it. If you want to come in now, you'll get to participate in the coaching session on Thursday for the Peace Out Protocol Challenge. And you'll get the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge in January. And you get a ticket to Exodus Summit 2026, pardon me, 2026. Okay. So a 3-month bundle or the 6-month bundle, beneficial, because we have some exciting things coming up. And then February in the ASAP membership, we're talking about scouting trips and that. So all this time I've been like, let me find the link. I still haven't gotten the link, but I'll get to it. Exodus ASAP, copy, paste. Okay, so here's the link to the Exodus ASAP membership. The Black women in that membership make progress. Every time we just did coaching on Thursday, and one of the women was like, my original plan was to leave in, was it August? Was it this notebook? This notebook. My original plan was to leave in August, and now I'm leaving in April. Okay. Let the coaching and the information inside of the Exodus ASAP membership make something possible for you that you don't yet necessarily believe is possible. That's what coaching does. All right. I told you I was in a coaching program this week. I'm making good money in my business. And even I went to a coach this week. What are my blind spots? What am I overcorrecting? Right? I was in coaching all week this week with white people. Right? American white people. We get coaching, we get support from things. You're welcome to join us in Exodus ASAP. Now, if you want to come to the challenge, even if you're not really planning to move abroad, the challenge is worth it. The challenge is worth the full ticket price for ExodUS ASAP. Okay. We get women, we get them a business out off the ground, we get them clients. Inside of the challenge, you do the work. Now you got to do the work. You come to the challenge, you learn from us, you do the work, you get clients. Okay. Okay, yeah, Amina. I originally was planning to leave in 2027. She and her husband are gone. Okay. Amina and her husband live in Mexico. Okay. Amina is the community manager in ExodUS ASAP. Okay, friends. So you know me. I like to wrap up 4 or 5 times. But let's wrap this up. The chat was relatively quiet today, but how was this? If you didn't do it already, please hit the like button. Thank you. And then if you didn't do it already, please hit the share button. Hit share and just share it, right? You can share it with one individual person. You can share it with your group chat. You can share it with just share it on your Facebook profile or your Instagram somewhere. Share this video. If you found any of this conversation helpful, share it with another Black woman. Okay. The hours. So on Tuesdays, we're going to do coaching at 3 Eastern time. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. This means that some of those of you who are available in the afternoons can come to at least half of the coaching sessions live and watch the others on replay. And those of you who are only available in the evenings can come to half the coaching live and the other half watch the replay. Because the sessions are more spread out now, you don't necessarily need to come to live coaching for the challenge to be helpful. In the past, when every lesson was a day apart, you really needed to come to coaching or at least watch the coaching right away so that you could do the next day's work. But now that they're so spread out, this challenge is now a 3-week time frame. Even if you can't come to any of those live coaching sessions, we're in the community and you can get feedback and coaching from us inside of the community. I'm not saying that these coaching live sessions are less helpful, right? They're super helpful. But there is more time to get your question answered in the community. You don't need the group coaching sessions to get your questions answered. You will, because group coaching is a time when new questions pop up. And other people ask questions that are crazy helpful. I only ask Graham one question all week in coaching because other people's questions were helpful to me, helped me get some clarity. That's one of the magic things about group coaching. Other people's questions are helpful for you. Okay, that's when that was the answer. 3 p.m. for the Tuesdays, starting at 3 p.m. and starting at 6 p.m. on the Thursdays. Okay, friends. All right. So nice to see you guys. Okay. So I asked if it was helpful. A couple of you said it was helpful. I hope this reframe is helpful. Okay. And so I'll see you again. Oh, look. I started my journey on election day and ended up with a place in Medellin. Okay. Wonderful, Karen. I hope you love it, Medellin. Okay. All right, good. Should I buy the toolkit first or join Trusted House Sitters first? The toolkit is a free download, so you can do them both. Okay, the toolkit is a free download. The toolkit includes my letter that I use to get booked on Trusted House Sitters. So go ahead and use my link, register for Trusted House Sitters, and download the free toolkit at the same time. So here's my link to join Trusted House Sitters. Christmas time, there's still Christmas house sits. You could be somewhere warm and beautiful for Christmas. Or you could just be right in your neighborhood, but in your city, but away from them people if you need some quiet. There's still time to get some Christmas house sits. I may or may not. I haven't found one that I'm excited to do that. But I may or may not be house sitting at Christmas time somewhere within driving distance of exotic Dover, Delaware. Okay. All right. Thank you for hanging out, friends. Thank you for, the pop culture nerd, Trusted House Sitters, been all over Europe in 3 years. That could be you, friends. Okay, this could be you. All right. Thank you for spending time with me this Saturday. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Okay. If you house sit with another, you can house sit with another pet if you're interested, if the house sitting client says yes. So if you take an animal with you to house sit, it's possible. If they like other animals, then you and the client can work that out yourselves. Okay. All right, good. Okay. Thanks again, friends. Have a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to do some work. It's a full work day. I got to get some reimbursements. I got to do some money things. And oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay. And I got to prepare the content count. I'm doing a content calendar workshop for YouTubers, January 19th. And so I need to prepare that and let people know about that and send that email. Vacarious.com/ I did these in 2024, but I didn't do any workshops in 2025. But I have a content calendar workshop coming up for everyone who's an alum of my YouTube challenge or anyone who already has a YouTube channel. I have that coming up January 19th, which is very soon. And so I need to let people know about that. So that's what's happening with my work day today. That's what I'll be doing today. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Okay. Thanks, friends. Have a good day. Bye.